Oh my god.
I'm literally streaming
Oh,
right now, bro. I'm literally streaming. Literally all a guy
piss
can do
streaming.
is stream in this piss streaming.
Alright, I'm gonna put my pants on then if you're streaming.
Damn. I'm always going pantsless in the wind. I know this stream is a couple days late. I also know nobody gives a fuck. But the reason it's a couple days late is that I was killing children. Untrue. I was actually... I had a weird weekend where half of it was Sunday and the other half was Tuesday, and Tuesday was very busy and Sunday was very busy. So I didn't have any time to stream on either of those days, so I'm just getting around to it now. This is a fucked amount of stone to have left. Wow. I haven't even, like, filled in all the cracks and shit. Yeah, so I haven't streamed yet this week, and it's gonna be, like, 3 days and I'm gonna be streaming again. And I'm having the experiences of nostalgia looking at old art. So I'm just like looking at this old art and being like, remembering all the people I knew when I made it, and feeling kind of weird because it might not, practically, it's almost not something I experienced because the me that is remembering doing it is so divorced from the me that did it, if you understand. So I'm remembering this thing that happened almost as if it happened to another person, even though I did it. And this is just my experiences surrounding, like, my friendship with this guy I knew. And then, like, my friendships with the people I knew when I was younger. And I think it's because, for me, I haven't had many long-lasting friendships that, like, stayed very friendly for those long times. Like, I know a couple of people who I've known for a long time, but they're not really my friends because they're not really interested in talking to me or don't really, like, share anything with me. Like, I have one friend who I've known for, like, what would it be? Like, seven years? And not quite 7. Almost 7, I think. I don't know, I can't remember exactly. But, they're just never interested in talking to me. So, like, practically speaking, even though I would love to be friends with this person, because they mean a lot to me, that we're just not friends anymore. Because they're not interested in talking to me, and all I want to do is talk to people, you know? And it's weird because that's, like, been the experience of my life.
Oh my god.
My friendship is always a very brief experience. And that it's more like and that friendships are essentially like months or a year long, and then they're gone after that. So when I have, so the idea of having a friendship that lasts my whole life, or even just longer than a couple of years, is very, like, odd to me. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, let's go back. You're still streaming on Discord, by the way.
Oh, okay, thank you. Shan't be wasting my valuable internet power. Yeah, and I suppose for a lot of people, friendship is the same kind of, like, brief experience that it has been for me. It's just that, you know, whenever I, like, see people talking about their friendships online, they're always talking about the ones that are most vital to them, which are the longest lasting ones, typically. And so it's just, like, odd for me because I don't have any of those, like, extremely long-lasting, like, passionate, if you will, friendships, because I've never been able to retain someone's interest that long.
Who's the oldest friendship you've got?
Lace.
How many years is that?
7.
Huh.
But Lace is essentially not my friend because they don't want to talk to me as far as I can tell. Anytime I
Oh.
talk to them, it's really hard and they don't want to like speak to me physically at all because they're busy. Uh, which I understand. It's just that for me, friendship is like talking, stuff like that. So I can't do anything with them. I can't spend any time with them because it's just like, how are you doing? I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah, I suppose. I've known Ashley for like 10 years. I think it's probably the longest one I can think of.
Yeah, and when I say 7 years for Lace, I'm not counting correctly. I'm pretty sure I don't actually know how long. It's probably more like 6.5. But I would have known Lift for 5 years.
He wasn't carried away by eagles.
Yeah, he wasn't sadly killed by the wolves. Throw me to the wolves.
I think he'll come back pregnant.
Yeah,
I don't think friendships really last that long.
like on average. Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, it like depends because people move on and move on with their lives. Like, and also especially for your age, I think people start getting to the long friendships in their like 20s to 30s.
Yeah,
Especially people that you know when you're younger, it's usually like a fleeting thing where it's just like, yeah, we have the same interests, we go to the same school, we, you know, attend this one specific thing.
we've shared passionate dances in moonlight, but that is all. Um,
What's your shortest relationship?
like romantic relationship?
Yeah.
I've never thought of counting the shortest. What would my romantic relationships be? They would be that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, and you. So I think the shortest was
You're like, you.
no. The shortest would have been like a month. I don't know.
Damn.
Nobody except you has liked me for very long, Bart. Not very likable.
That's because everyone else sucks.
Yeah. I do, I mean, maybe it's just the age, but like, I do feel like I like cease to be interesting to people quite quickly.
I reckon it's just because people in, around when they're younger, they tend to be very volatile with their emotions as well as figuring out who the hell they are.
Yeah.
And small things like, oh, I gotta start a new job might be enough for someone to be like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah. Hmm.
Better than a week.
What?
So it's better than a week.
Is that your shortest?
Yeah.
And did that end with like murder or
Nah, the guy panicked.
um,
What was it, Dylan?
um and you
What's the
didn't
first
murder
round anyway? No, there's no point.
him?
He's sad. There's no point in killing him.
You're like,
It's
I
more
would feel
torture.
sad.
It's more torture for him to be alive, I think. Killing him would be a mercy.
Yeah, you're like, I afford no one mercies.
Exactly. I typed that is so hot because I was gonna type that's so hot, but I didn't put the apostrophe in, and I thought, wouldn't it be weird if someone just didn't put the apostrophe in? It's just that is.
That
Yeah.
is so hot. You know, that is
Yeah.
so hot.
So I think conjunctions kind of are necessary for like the English language.
Mostly just because it sounds weird if you don't get that conjunctiva up in there. Conjunctivitis. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever had conjunctivitis?
No.
I have.
You're like, maybe you shouldn't speak for the conjunctivitis affected community then, Axel.
I shit directly into my eye holes. No.
Sure.
I got it because I had just a sinus infection or like some kind of virus thing. Not sure which one it was, but I
And
like.
then your body was just like, how about another one?
Well, I was just like stuck on a train, or I was somewhere where I couldn't like wipe my face, so I like got snot in my eye, or I got like virally infected snot in my eye, and I
That's fine.
like couldn't clean it, so it got infected.
Sure, I
It
just
went
like keep
away.
my own
I just
snot
needed
and
to
eat it
wipe it and then not touched it.
in that situation.
I think conjunctivitis just seems gross, but it goes away really quickly. It must have been viral then, I guess.
I have no idea about
But
anything.
you know what conjunctivitis looks like? Your eye starts developing crust on it because it's having a pussy reaction.
A pussy reaction?
Yeah, my pussy gets all wet.
Uh,
Here's naught for my conjunctiva.
I do care about your conjunctiva. Oh my god, I have this moment. Bard, can you like come up here?
Looking at my materials, probably not, but I'll try. I don't have any rockets.
You don't need a rocket, you can just take the ladder.
The raccoon?
Yeah. Just come up the
Ladder the
ladder
raccoon?
and stare directly up and tell me what it reminds you of.
Butthole.
Because I will think I will say I think it will remind you more than a butthole.
Moi. Looks like darkness. Look directly up.
Yeah. Doesn't it remind you of an
Jesus.
old loading screen, Bard?
Huh?
The Minecraft loading screen? It used to just be the dirt texture.
Oh. Yeah. Back in the 18th century.
Yeah, when I was a child.
You're so old.
Ooh. They used to call me Willie.
That's why they call me Nichols.
No, I just want to see me in my wallet. I'm gonna use this to buy a crack.
You know what, son? I don't care if you take me to varsity. Or take me to prom. I don't know which one it is. If you don't make varsity, I don't know. What even is a varsity?
Special sports for special boys. The guy in the video I showed you, he was in the varsity running.
Pissing league.
The varsity running.
Oh.
He was also really good with the violin, and it made him feel really special because he thought it was the first time he'd ever been really good at something.
Is this Adam Ragusa or someone else?
Fun?
You said the guy I showed you, and like,
In the
I'm trying to think.
video I just sent you. The child in the video entitled Ryan.
Oh, okay. See, with so much more context, I understand what the fuck you're trying to tell me now. I get
Okay.
you. Okay. What is a varsity?
It's
It's a
just
special
like
boy.
just for special boys. It's like if you just take a sport but you make it more competitive. So you just take the people who are the
Okay.
best at it and make them fight each other for money.
That sounds like it sucks.
I mean, I didn't want to do it. But I didn't want to do any sports. I think I didn't like any sports at all when I was a kid. And that's kind of funny to me now, just because, like, I know sports are really good for your health and stuff like that. But they also
I
just,
mean,
like,
if I had competitive
sound.
weightlifting, I would do that, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, but they also just, like, sound miserable to me. I just don't like.
The thing is,
maybe
I
I'm doing
like
that.
exercise. I don't like sport.
Yeah, I think my problem with sport is that my favorite kinds of exercise are like, I don't know,
Adventuring.
adventuring. Yes, my favorite kind of exercise is going on a little adventure, uh, which is not what any sport is about, other than like colonialism.
What? Cycling, canoeing,
Yeah,
diving.
but cycling is all like, oh, how fast can you go? And I'm like, I don't give a shit for how fast I can go. Just
Is it?
take me somewhere. Yeah, that's what sport cycling is. How fast you can go.
Oh, sports cycling. I was thinking of like doing it for sport, not doing it competitively.
I don't. I don't know if we use the word the same way in America.
Not sure. I mean, like a sport is a game you play.
Yeah, but I would say the kind of cycling I do is not a game. It's just exercise.
I don't know. I'm thinking of like when I used to do cycling in school. It was just you would go somewhere.
Yeah, but that's not like. But
Because
I
like
would.
hunting is sport.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just that hunting is like a special term in my mind. Calling hunting a sport is special. You don't call other leisure activities sport.
I mean, it's different reasons for doing things, I suppose.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, in my mind, hunting is like the odd one out here.
Like if someone asked me if I did any sport, I'd be like, yeah, I do cycling.
Yeah, whereas I would say no.
Recreational sport. If anyone actually did ask me if I did sport, I'd say no, I don't do sport. Unless gym is sport, in that case I do gym.
Knew you were up to something.
I'm gonna kill you. I knew exactly that you were gonna say that.
I didn't say nothing. I just said I knew you were up to something. You're the one making assumptions. Hmm.
But anyway, if you gave me access to a gym as a child, I'd be having a great time.
Yeah, whereas I don't find the gym very entertaining, regardless of what age I've been. Maybe I'll like it
Okay,
more
but
when I'm
here's the
old.
thing. If you're in high school and they're just like, okay, we've got physical ed as part of your fucking training thing. We got the practical and then we got the theory. The theory is we tell you how to look after your health. The practical is you've got to look after yourself, as in like you got to do some kind of exercise like 3 times a week.
Yeah,
And they give you a bunch of options. And it's like you can either play ball game, or go gym. The gym has like so many exercise routines you can choose. What are you doing?
probably playing the ball game.
Would you rather play ball game?
Yeah,
You don't like sport.
yeah, but I don't want to play the ball game.
What?
Sorry, I meant to say that the other way around. I don't like being in the gym. It's not fun for me. At,
Okay.
at least the ball game is like cooperative.
It says gym.
Uh, Yeah, but it's just you're just in proximity to a bunch of people. You know, you're just around people. Ball game is it's just like playing, you know, when you're a kid. Except there's people yelling at you. So it's even better. Um, like playing the ball game might remind me of like playing games with my dad or something, whereas uh, being in the gym is just like it's just I don't know. maybe there's not enough movement in gym for me. Like as in physically from place to place. I think that's the nice thing about the ball game compared to the gym, is that when you're doing the ball game, you're physically moving around. Because the how static it is in the gym might be something that bothers me. I'm not completely sure. It might be a variety of things.
Gym don't have to be static.
Yeah, I know. It's just that the way I've been taught to use the gym is that it's static. And
Racism.
and the way it's set up is like, there's a bunch of activities. You pick an activity to do, and then you do that. And then you move to the different activity. These things don't flow together. You're getting in someone's way if you're running
Yeah,
around.
really.
Like that kind of thing. And my desire would be to run around. And, that's one of the fun parts. Just the dynamic nature of uh, playing the ball game or uh, walking. Walking. That's what I was thinking. I was talking about this earlier with my grandma actually, where she was saying that I showed her some pictures of a hike I went on, and she was like, "Oh, that's really good. I've read an article that said that young people benefit a lot from going out in nature because it helps relieve stress." And I was like, "I think that's true of everyone." And she's like, "Yeah, but young people have the highest rates of stress that going out in nature helps." And I'm like, "That's true." Uh, and that's the thing I like about going out in nature is the movement of it compared to just being walking on a treadmill. When you're out in nature, you're experiencing all of these sensations along with the physical exercise of walking. And I think it's the lack of the sensory input that might bother me about the gym, because it's obviously you're doing things that involve sensory input. It's just that it doesn't feel like I'm moving really. I'm experiencing the same thing the whole time, and the experience of movement where you're changing in some way is, I don't know, kind of powerful to me, I guess.
Okay, I can pelt you with bushes and throw bugs at you while you're on the treadmill if that helps.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that to imply that anybody else should not enjoy going to the gym, because I think the gym is obviously very good for people who like going there. It's just that it's not an experience I personally find enjoyable.
I think you haven't built the healthy relationship with it, you know?
Sure.
Was that an intentional true, or did you actually mean to say it like that?
What?
You said true with a really Australian accent.
No, I said sure.
Oh, so you said true. Oh, okay.
Sure. Sure. It would be funny if I did that.
Wow, you've been talking to an Australian woman? That was incredible.
Yeah, you date an Australian long enough, you become an Australian.
Axel type of bed, haha.
Oh, fucked up.
Brittany got your ass.
Brittany's gonna fucking kill me.
I'm tired, I'm
I'm
gonna go
I
to
am
work.
go to good I am going to go to bed soon. Momentarily. I just wanted to do a stream this week. I am going to go to bed soon. AJ, what's the longest you've been friends with someone that's not your wife? That you're currently friends with? It's the test to see
You
if
could have just said, what's your oldest friendship?
Yeah, but I wasn't trying to be concise.
What, you want to be as obscure and confusing as possible?
Yeah,
Okay.
can't the man do anything anymore?
I'm sure autistic people love that.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, damn.
That really sucks.
Were they racist?
Was that with a new trans woman?
New trans woman.
Well, person who transitioned recently.
No. Is that why the friendship ended?
Oh, reinvented herself, which included getting rid of all her friends. That's wild to me.
I understand, because sometimes you just need to. It's something you just need in life.
Are you gonna throw me away?
No, I'm not gonna reinvent myself.
Uh,
But like,
you're already
it's not.
entitled.
It's nothing against the people that you're with. It's just something with you. You know.
Me? What did I do?
I'm gonna fucking kill you. You're gonna die.
Bard, how could you say that to me when I'm just an innocent boy? Full,
AJ's eyewitness.
full of innocence.
Good
I'm,
enough.
I'm famous for how innocent I am.
It is tragic. It does suck when someone just like moves on. But hey, maybe it's what
Yeah.
they need. You never know. Maybe they'll come back. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I spent 2 years hoping for with Liz, was that he would come back.
Well, I mean, there's no shame like hoping for it and just thinking maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, on top of me being hopeful, it was also me being delusional. So it was like a double whammy.
Rock.
So true, Dusty. AJ, you missed one of my famous conversations where I just talked to myself, and Bart also was not here, so he missed it too. But it was
Only
talking.
20 seconds.
Yeah, you caught like the last minute of it, but it was just me like talking about friendship to myself as though I were speaking to someone, which is kind of funny.
It's full of monologues.
It's true.
Speaking of monologue, if another person does the milkshake monologue to me, I'm fucking leaving.
Milkshake monologue?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like a, I suppose, famous monologue that someone does about drinking someone else's milkshake.
Does it bring all the boys to the yard?
No, he's like, I drink your milkshake, I drink it up.
Huh?
It's really annoying. Theatre kids like doing it. I must have heard Icarus say it like 9 times.
Oh. Anything Icarus has said is on the no-say list.
You would run out of words to say as that man talk too much.
Alas. Yeah. I also monologue to myself. I wish I lived in a house, like, I like my roommates, but first of all, I can't walk around naked, which sucks. Second of all, um, like, all I would, me alone in a house, I'd literally never stop singing and, like, talking out loud to myself really loudly, and those are, like, my two favorite things to do. So when I live with people, I'm just, like, the quietest man, and I miss being loud. Like, whenever I'm in a car, I instantly, like, burst into song.
Ooh!
Yeah, I start singing like a whale.
That wasn't like a word, that was opera. Are you saying that because I'm singing it?
No, I'm saying it because the opera is famously based on the whale. This is a science fact. Really? I didn't think I burst into song that
You version the song pretty often.
much. Is it frequent? I thought everybody was like me in terms of bursting into
Well, I
song.
mean, I'm used to you doing it, so I always if I imagine you do it more around me than you do other people.
I do it the most around myself.
Oh wow, he hates
Do
me. He hates me. He's gonna kill me. He
no.
hates me.
Well, I suppose it didn't occur to me, but I suppose like does some people not like singing?
You said I was bad at singing, so I don't sing around you.
What? How could you say that?
You're the one that said it.
No, I wouldn't say that.
You're like, oh, he's so bad. I hate him.
But I would not say that.
I open my mouth, and you're just like, close it again, slut.
That is something I would not say.
And you say no breathing.
AJ doesn't like singing. AJ, you're like the great what's the what am I
I
thinking? The
reckon
great
if
exception.
AJ could sound like a Vocaloid, he would sing.
Yeah, if AJ could sing like a Vocaloid.
AJ, if you were Hatsune Miku, would you?
Yeah. Or would you be the Miku who couldn't sing?
Would you be the dead Miku?
The Miku who has sadly passed away.
Famously, the dead Miku, like the dead main character's wife, because they need a reason to do something.
Um,
Have you been fridged, AJ?
yeah, AJ is in a fridge right now.
It's a trope in cinema and other things. A genre trope, I suppose. Where a female character is killed to give the main character a reason to do something.
Yeah. Like uh like in Doom with the rabbit.
What? Oh yeah, sure. They fridged his rabbit because he's married to it.
Yeah, his wife, his beautiful wife, a rabbit.
AJ,
Yeah.
dye your hair blue.
Here's my thing. I think naturally most people like singing, but I think that there's enough shame associated with being bad at singing that people can stop liking it. And you see, shame doesn't work on me because I'm a fucking psychopath.
Twisted psychopath.
Yeah, there's psychopaths everywhere. What a
Women
creeper.
in refrigerators. What a great name for a trope.
You always say this whenever you come over to my house. Uh,
Ah.
yeah, that's fair. I'm saying, generally speaking, I think singing is something people enjoy. Maybe I just like making a sound, like abnormally. Bar, do you think I like making sound abnormally?
No, that's me making weird noises.
See, yeah, I also like dancing. He does like to say alarmo. He's got that going for him.
Yeah.
Alarmo. This man is known for how often he says alarmo.
I love this fucking thing. Someone's like, why is fridging bad? Why is fridging a character bad?
I say get rid of him. Don't need him.
It is impressive the amount of people on Reddit that just are missing that little bit of life experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think there's a new person who's born every day and then they open a Reddit account.
Yeah.
Like it's a CIA clone and they just have to figure out what life is. And they just ask people on Reddit, like, why are things selling?
I do like that idea.
Actually, there is a thing with Reddit being a psyop.
MK Ultra.
Okay, there's a military base that is a cyber security or like cyber warfare military base, and they are the biggest users of Reddit because like the most popular like, amount of people using Reddit are this military base, and you can tell this because when there was a power outage in the military base, Reddit's population dropped by a huge amount,
Oh,
and there was
uh,
also a poll that was like, "Oh, what's Reddit's most used city or something?" It was like literally the military base.
that's fun.
Oh yeah, that's so fucking lame. Like I would not give a shit. Especially when like there's a trope in so many things when someone like finds out they're adopted or something, they're like, I gotta find my real dad. I'm like, do you fucking care? That is your real dad.
Kill your old dad. You got a better dad now. Yeah. I also dislike that. It's funny that you say that though, AJ, because we are famously both reading a story where the character's main motivation is that he wants to find his
Daddy.
biological father, who was obviously a piece of shit.
If you feel heart palpitations 5 hours after taking Marintor, see a doctor. I was doing a thing with someone where I'll just randomly bring up, I'm like, okay, which of these are medications and which of these are fantasy characters? And I like listed like 6 different medications, and then Marintor was in there, and like I can't tell.
Sad.
Wasn't his like dad named something similar as well or something? Or like there's a dragon
It's
that's named something similar.
Carnothor. You changed that because it's too
Yeah.
similar. Uh,
You know, you should have kept going and have like Barnathor as well, and then like
I agree.
everyone with Thor in their last name or in their
Yeah.
name. I think you also have to think when you're writing a book, if you're gonna
His
have
mother's
people reading
married
it,
name, Barnathor.
favorite fictional humanoid race species like elf, dwarf, lizard man.
I like Tason's the most. Next question.
I think he means archetype.
Shit. Well, fuck.
Well, you're gonna go with dog boy.
Yeah, my favorite archetypal fantasy species is the dog boy. No, mine is elf.
Ew.
Did you say you?
Yeah, because most elves in fantasy usually end up being really shitty, I guess.
Racist.
Yeah, usually.
Well, I say elf
Unless it's
because
like,
my favorite ones are the Tolkien ones, which are also
yeah, that's like
racist.
the only normal elves.
But the reason I'm saying that also is that Taysons are the elves in my story.
What's the
My
lizard man
answer
then?
is still Taysons. Um, it's the Taslani people.
That's just mean because it's just like people suck.
What?
That's just mean because the Teslani people
No,
suck.
they don't. You're so full of racism,
Yeah, they
bro.
do. The swamp people.
Yeah, what's wrong with being a guy in a swamp?
Because they
What's the
portray
deal?
them and they're just like boring. They're like, I hate living in the swamp. I live in the swamp, but the swamp sucks. And it's like,
Love to
bro,
be in
you
the
live in the
swamp.
swamp.
Bro, you literally live in the swamp, bro. Why are you so mad about living in the swamp, little man?
I feel like they would live in the swamp. They would vote for a political person that wants to drain the swamp, and it's like, bro, you live in the swamp. You can't drain the swamp.
I'm just building a spider web underneath an island for no reason, AJ. Why do you ask?
I gotta get going.
Why?
Cause I gotta work.
You're literally gonna leave me for another work?
For my job, yes.
But damn, that's fucked up. Alright, I hope you enjoy your work, sweetie pie.
I don't want to go.
Well,
I'm not gonna go.
maybe.
In fact, I'm staying home and I'm gonna ruin my entire career prospect because I don't want to fucking play Minecraft. I'm joking.
I'm literally gonna cry. Alright, have
Okay,
a good
well,
one,
use your
Bard. I
quarters
love
for me,
you.
so
Partner for sure.
I love you. Have fun.
I will.
Bye, AJ. Bye, Max. I love you.
Bye, sweet. Meow 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 meow. I've been streaming for 40 minutes. I think I'm gonna put on the drawing. I'm gonna draw her a little bit. Ugh. But no, I'm making the framework for the bottom of the island, so all of this like spiderweb shit's just gonna be filled out so that it can look like it has kind of a smooth base. Then I'm gonna make a little spike here. I'm just gonna leave this Minecraft, honestly. I can listen to Minecraft music unless it stops. No more Minecraft music. I guess I'll just die then. Fuck. Yeah, but obviously Tastons are my favorite, because I made them up. I was just earlier talking with Bart about Tastons actually in anthropological context, because that's some of the contexts I tend to think about Tastons in often. The narration perspective is interesting. That's interesting because I didn't know anything. I didn't notice anything special about the perspective in that story, and I liked it a lot. Shit. Trying to make like funny looking dragons, like body as well as mine. See, that's funny. Yeah, kind of like giving them the dinosaur type tail. Just like this tapering sort of construction. It looks dumb, but you know what I'm saying, AJ. You get it. Impractically long limbs are really funny to me, I guess. This is pretty good. See, this is the thing I was the most afraid of when I was a child, which was making shitty art. Which is easiest for me when I'm high, even though I'm not high right now, I can still do it. Yeah, the idea of making something bad was really very scary to me as a child. This tail needs to be more interesting. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't know how to draw a lot of things, so like one of my problems is that I get like stuck with these very stiff poses because I don't know how to draw dragons in any other way than like this sidelong type of thing. which sucks because I don't want to do that, but I don't know how to do anything else. My brain too small. Maybe because I don't have enough time to practice. Earlier, I think that works stylistically because it's kind of like this very silly kind of dragon. Um, Earlier I saw a post from this one artist who just seemed like the like a very, I don't know. There's like a certain kind of bitterness you can develop from being an online artist and having like your work be so low value in the eyes of the people who generally receive it, I think. Uh, which is exemplified in this person because they were saying, oh, okay. Well, it's more like somebody's telling a story to you, I suppose. I suppose that's the intention, is that it's like, well, it is, isn't it? Yeah, I know what the intention is. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm a crazy person. I know this world. What the fuck am I talking about? Um, but just like this, like embittered person, like all the people in their comments are like the same type of embittered, and they were saying that like a parent contacted them because their kid uh wrote a comic book and wanted to have it illustrated, and they were like, what's your rate for having your illustration work? And this person was like, you should not try to make money off of your kid writing a comic book, and she should also make the comic book herself. She should draw it herself, and children should not have to make money. And I found that really, and also your child should have to work retail before they become an artist. And I was like, that's such a tirade for like somebody literally just being like, what's your rate? It was just so weird to me. Also because like I've had to work retail type jobs, if not retail, and it's the worst, and it's probably really good for like your social development, stuff like that. But if I could have gone into adulthood, like being able to just draw, I think that would have been great because now that I'm an adult and I have to work full time, I don't have any time to get better at drawing. Like, I've just hit a standstill with getting better at drawing. I don't think I've gotten better at all in like a year, which is crazy because it's never happened to me before. And I definitely have a lot of improvement to do. I just can't get better because I don't have time to practice. I can make this shit in 5 minutes and it's garbage. And that's all that I have time for a lot of days, which is frustrating. Um, and just the exhaustion that comes from working a job is pretty serious. So I like wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So it's weird to see an artist just like go on a tirade where they're like, your child should have to be miserable before they get to have my job. And also, why wouldn't you just say no? If somebody was like, hey, will you do this? You can just say no instead of being like, don't try to capitalize on your child making something. Yeah, children should have to work retail and they should not be able to make money. And they should be, I don't know, it's so strange to me. I don't really get it because, like, you know, now that I'm an adult, I can't make money from art anymore, essentially, because first of all, it's a really bad space to try to make money in. And second of all, my progress on making art has just come to like a standstill because of having to work. And the same is not true of writing, thankfully. And writing is the thing where I'm like, it's slightly less saturated than making art because it's slightly harder and takes much longer. Uh, but it's still just like, your work can mean nothing. And it probably does mean nothing. Uh, Shit, I mean, what was my, like, average for drawing before? It was probably like 16 hours a week in 2020, early 2024, or most of 2023. Like 16 hours of drawing a week, probably less a lot of the time. The problem is that, like, now my hours a week is like 5 or something like that, or like 4, because I do these drawings that take me like 10 minutes at the end of the day when I should already be asleep. Um, which doesn't involve any improvement really. I mean, it's useful in that it's like ideation or whatever, but it's not really like improving my painting technique now, is it? I mean, that looks nice, but like, this is not incredibly helpful for my drawing improvement. Um, and like, I like drawing too much when I'm thinking back to when I would spend like 8 hours a day drawing, and I'd be like, ugh, wish I could spend 8 hours a day drawing again. Because that's like most people I think don't want to spend 8 hours a day doing anything. Or at least not I normally. Drawing's the only thing where I can do it that long without feeling like sick. Yeah, that's probably the case. If I sell you, if I sell you, AJ, I can do this. Any buyers? Oh, okay, true. It's such an unstable looking creature. It's kind of funny. Uh, yeah, but I guess it just sucks to be an adult and be like, yeah, there's all the stuff I wanted to do. Alas. Ah, yeah. How many video hours of video games? I've probably played like 10 hours of video games this month. Um, so that's less than I've done reading. I think I've done like 40 hours reading this month. Maybe a little less. I never read as much as I want to in a month, except for last year when my mom sent me this one series that I listened to the entirety of, and there were 16 books, so it took a while. Wow, he's a gamer. Let the record show he's a gamer. is kind of a fun little guy. Hey Joe, what do you think of this guy? Strikes me as a tree climber. Thank you. I appreciate the thought. AJ, how good is your handwriting, in your opinion? Oh, that's fun. You're like most old people. I don't ever use cursive, but my print is quite good. I find my print to be very aesthetically appealing. It doesn't look as good when I try to do it digitally. Um, but my print is like uh, quite legible, but very spiky. It hurts my hands too, specifically my wrists, I think. Uh, that might just be because my pencils are always too short. But I do like writing a lot, just because it's fun to like just sit there and go like, as in physically writing. The only that doesn't hurt my hands. Uh, Gaming hurts my hands. Actually, just my right hand because of the mouse. But my left hand, it gets the worst pain from writing because of the elevation of the keyboard, I think. Like, I get a weird thing where if I'm writing a lot, my wrists get like malformed slightly, which is definitely a problem. Uh, well, I despise AI. Well, I'm gonna vomit. Sorry, I just saw an AI ad on another screen. I think I'll put colors in the sky, just for the love of the game. What is the thing I like doing? I like to do this. Like, I give something a parchment color. Oh, really? And then I just draw directly onto the parchment color. Maybe I'll do that. Make the guy green. Something I like about becoming a better artist is that you get this like sense for what colors mean, essentially. So I can kind of just like click onto the color wheel and receive the color I want now. Whereas when I was younger, I'd be like, where's the color I want? I have no idea. Oops. Oopa, 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 oopa. Let me be a soldier, let me be a soldier. I really like it when people make like complicated patterns for their dragons or their dinosaurs. I don't tend to do that just because I don't know as much about like animal patterning as a lot of biology enthusiasts do. One of the problems with liking lots of different subjects is that I'm like, shit, I don't know enough about animal patterning. It's like, Axel, do you need to know about animal patterning? And I'm like, no, why wouldn't I? Thank you, cows. This is a big W for the cows. Can I get some cows in the chat? No, what did I have today? I did have cheese on my Sammy, I believe. I think wheat was probably the thing I consumed in the greatest quantity today. Because there's wheat in the bread I had and wheat in the pasta I ate, so. Yeah, I gotta turn that wheat and make it into fucking corn. Uh, I think birds are like the most fascinating guys to just like watch around the place, you know? Like, sorry, this was brought on suddenly, but I was just thinking about bird coloring because I'm about to color this guy like a bird. Uh, Birds are just the like weirdest, funniest creatures. I can see why people like bird watching. I was thinking, oh man, I could be like instantly an old person if I took up bird watching. I'd be like 80 immediately. Tell me. See, I feel like a lot of people kind of take that attitude. Maybe it's just because maybe I like video games abnormally little, but like I just don't feel the need to be playing video games all the time. And like if I feel like I should be writing instead of playing video games, I'll just write. You know, I'm not gonna play video games when I don't have the time for it. So I get that like gaming is more stress relief than writing is for some people. For me personally, everything causes stress. I'll just give him some red just to have all the colors there. No, I like games. I think the problem is that my relationship to gaming is different now that I'm an adult. Uh, you know, like I gamed before I had any friends. Ah, yes. I like gaming because it's the only thing that makes me not conscious of how long I'm spending doing it. Every single other activity I'm thinking about how long it takes me to do, except for drawing sometimes. Uh, but games, because they take up a lot of attention, I can like lose myself for a while, which is enjoyable. But most other topics, you know, and hypothetically, I could lose myself in writing, but I only have so much time every morning, so it's like not really practical to do. See, that's a fun drawing. I feel like adding the colors to this improved it a lot. Yeah, and a lot of these things are just, you know, you work on it until it starts looking good, essentially. And this is something I'd probably have trouble drawing a couple years ago, specifically just because it's kind of like creative in a way that's hard for me to do. Um, so I'm glad I've managed to do it. I'm gonna fix its tail real quick. I feel right, approximately. Man, I would love to be plowing a tree right now. Feel like I love to play Breath of the Wild because it allows me to imagine a world where I could climb a tree. Yeah, on Tuesday I just like went out to one of the state parks and just like played in a waterfall or near a waterfall with Grizzly for uh, like 30-45 minutes ish, I think. And it was very nice. And, you know, people were showing up and interrupting, but it wasn't that bad. I wish I could have gone swimming, but it was a little too cold. And also, I would have been in the nude walking back, which would have been difficult walking back to my car. Yeah, I can't wait until it's warm enough that I can go swimming again. Swimming is the best. Fuck. Yeah, you would become me if you didn't have health issues. The only thing that separates you and I, AJ, is the health issues. I mean, how much gaming have I done this week? I haven't played any games other than Minecraft, I think. And maybe Baldur's Gate? I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, I should go to bed. You probably should go to bed too, AJ, if you can manage it. So I'm gonna say good night and sleep well if you can. And tell Brittany to sleep well if she's not already sleeping well. Bye bye.